To open a new Google Draw file, open your Google Drive, click on New, hover over More, and select Google Drawings. Rename your Google drawing by clicking on Untitled Drawing and type in the name. And click OK. The center of your screen is your drawing canvas. I like to use the gray areas on either side of the canvas to insert directions for my students. For example, I can click on text box to select the area for which my directions will appear. I have typed my directions earlier so I can paste them in by going to the Edit menu and selecting Paste, or I can use my keyboard shortcut Control-V. I'm going to click on Paste. There are my directions. I am going to resize the text box by stretching it. I'm also going to want a border around my box, so I'm going to click on Line Color, Black, and I might want to change the line thickness or weight, so I'm going to make it a little thicker. And I'm just going to click back down here in my directions, so now I can insert some shapes that represent particles. Up here, I can select shape, and I can choose to do a geometric shape, arrows, callouts, or symbols for equations. I need to use a circle to represent atoms and ions, so I'm going to select the circle and I'm going to put it next to lead. But I want the lead atom to be dark gray, so I go to the menu for fill color and I select a dark gray color. I could do the same thing again for sodium. However, I can also use my keyboard shortcut Control-C, or I could go Edit, Copy, and then I could go Control-V to paste another one and drag it next to sodium. And now I want that to look like a different color, so I'm going to go to a lighter shade of gray. Once again, I need another circle, so I'm going to copy that, or I could just paste it again, Control-V, drag it down, and make it the color green for chlorine. Lastly, I can put all the atoms together that make up nitrate, or I can copy it from another Google Draw file I have, which is here. I'm going to scroll down, and I can just grab one of them, Control-C to copy it. I can go back to my Google Draw and paste it in. And then since it pasted over here, I can just drag it to where I want it to be, which is over here. Now, before I go on, I'm just going to line these up a little bit, and now I have my particles for my key. Next, I want the students to show the particles before and after the reaction. So to do that, I'm going to insert a table. So the table, I go to Insert, and I'm just going to make 2 columns in my table, and I'm going to make it occupy the entire drawing canvas. And I'm just going to label this one before and this one after. This Google Draw file is going to serve as a template for my students to use so that they don't have to keep creating all the particles. I am going to copy them and paste them over here. And then I need more of them, so I'm just going to keep pasting. But I'm going to copy this one so I can paste it multiple times over here and then drag them out. Line them up. Doesn't matter how many I have of each, so I can just copy and paste them in. They could be anywhere on the side margin here. Initially, from another simulation that I did with a Google Draw file, I said positive represents cations. I'm going to change that to all represent cations. so that I don't have to put plus charges in them. I'm also going to copy and paste my sodium ion in. He pasted over here, so I'm going to drag him to the side and just copy him again. So when I paste it, it pastes to the same side. And I'm just going to throw them randomly onto my desktop here for my students to use. The students also need chloride ions, so I'm going to copy them and paste them again. Got to drag this guy over. And I'm going to copy it again so it pastes to the side, not to the left side, so the students have them to use. Lastly, I need some nitrates, so I'm going to copy this and paste it over here. Drag, drag, and so forth. CV. Finally, I'm going to pretend that I'm a student doing this particular simulation of particle views using Google Draw. And before, I know that, for example, that these are all aqueous ions in solution. So the student will then click and drag all of these to just be randomly before the reaction. This represents that all of these ions occur as aqueous, but I want the students to be able to demonstrate this so they are aware of the physical states of the reactants and products. And we only draw in chemistry on the bottom of the container because aqueous solutions, like liquids, sit on the bottom of the container. They do not fill the container like gases, so I show it as such. And I don't have to drag all of them. We're not talking about stoichiometry, so it doesn't matter what we do here with where we put the particles, is so long as they represent that they are not really close together. As you'll see after what happens, there's a precipitate formation, so the students will drag the particles to form the precipitate in the after box. What I also love is that I can link the students to a video by copying the link of the video that I want to use, and then I can then go here and write link to video. Then I'll resize my box, link to video. I select link to video, and then I insert a link, and I hit apply. So when a student clicks on the video, they will see the reaction. I just need to reformat my little key here, down here. Or I could go up like this to reformat my text box. And there you have it, how to create a Google Draw file for particulate view of reactions.